up everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we are back with a Volkswagen Golf GTI Clubsport model, the Mark 8. So this is the car with the base 300 horsepower. This is the same engine as you find in the Golf 8R, which means this car has a lot of potential for tuning. Expected is somewhere around 430 horsepower and 550 Newton meters of torque. Lovely car. It's a lot more exciting to drive than a Golf 8R, for example, because of the front-wheel drive based platform. For this car we have installed a 200 cell downpipe from DCE parts. The benefit of our downpipe is that the catalytic converter is underneath the car where the OPF is normally placed. There are downpipes that have the catalytic converter right behind the turbo. Right behind the turbo is of course normally very good for heating up the cat very quickly, but with tuning and especially running these kind of horsepower numbers, it may interfere with the durability of the catalytic converter. So if you place the catalytic converter in the middle of the car, the heat buildup will be a lot less. The catalytic converter will still match the emission testing for these cars in the Netherlands, that is. So that is one of the benefits when you choose for our DC parts downpipe. Other than that, the car also has a non-valved Akrapovic exhaust. So that's the original Akrapovic exhaust that you can get for these cars, which is of course also a lovely option. It gives the car a much deeper note, so if you only do the 200 cell downpipe, the car may sound a little bit tinny. Of course, there's also an OPF delete on the downpipe, so you are actually removing two filters. So you're removing the catalytic converter and the OPF, and in place there's a 200 cell high flow cap. So welcome on board the Volkswagen Golf GTI. It's a Clubsport model, the Mark 8. Lovely car, quite a lot of potential actually. So we have tuned the car to a stage 2 with a downpipe installed. It is a 200 cell downpipe, so it's a lovely deep note still. With the Akrapovic axleback exhaust, it is a very nice package. So that's different. This car has also been lowered on Cobra suspension lowering springs and also has spacers installed, which is of course also lovely. It widens the stance quite a bit, and of course because of the drop the car also looks amazing. So let's turn around and go into a small tunnel and see how the car sounds. That's crazy. It has quite a lot of wheel spin. Oh, and it pops quite aggressively. This is the original Burble, so we didn't change that. I love these front wheel drive high powered cars because they do have some spicy traction issues. That's a lot of traction control when you're driving around like this. It is a lot more exciting to drive the GTI in my opinion than the more safe Golf 8R. This has some character to it in my opinion. If you have four-wheel drive, the car is a little bit more settled of course, and when it's certainly quick, but it's definitely not as exciting as driving a GTI like this. So as mentioned, on the back you see the Akrapovic exhaust tips here. Looks a lot better compared to the original exhaust tips, of course. So we are quite happy with that. This car has also been lowered on Cobra suspension lowering springs, and it's also running Cobra suspension spacers front and rear. So it also looks very nice. Of course, the Clubsport is a little bit stiff already, so if you want a more comfortable option, a Cobra suspension coilover kit or from KW, for example, is one of the options that is available for these cars to give the car a little bit more compliance in the suspension. But of course, it's also the charm of these cars to be a little bit more sporty, so it's up to you, of course. So in the engine bay, we have also done a modification. So this car is running the CTS turbo intake, which is a nice heat-shield one, so gives a little bit more driving involvement because of the sound. Performance-wise, it might add something, might not add something. This is something I really hate about the Golf 8. The Golf 7 still had gas struts, but yeah, that is how the engine bay looks like now. And if you go to the back here, you can see the downpipe here. The first part of our downpipe is heat shielded, so this is how it looks like. So here we got the results. We are making 425 horsepower and 524 Newton meters of torque. Ideally, the car should do around 430 and 550 Newton meters. We are running a little bit into hotter air intake temperatures, high in the rev range, so probably a intercooler would work, would help this car a little bit. Will make the car reach the higher power numbers that you can do. We expect with an intercooler to reach around 435, 440 horsepower, which we have done on the Cupra, for example. Yeah, all with all, a very lovely result. So therefore, I want to thank you guys for watching. Like and subscribe, and see you on the next video.